Hello again. I'm glad you found the second part of my interview about the book Ponzinomics with the author himself, Mr. Robert L. FitzPatrick. If you just clicked this video and want to see the first part, I'll link it right here or here for you to watch. Without any further ado, please enjoy the second part of the interview and I'll see you soon. So the people are encouraged to feed into, as you call it, belief system. And that also goes hand in hand with the American dream that you mentioned a few times in your book. As an American, what does that mean to you and how did it change over the last decades?
I really, in my first book, delved a little more into this issue of American dream. American dream is a vision that involves a view of life, a set of values, and these views and values can shape how you live, your daily activities, your habits, and many decisions that you might make. I think today the American dream has been sold worldwide, but it is based on capitalism. It is a vision of opportunity that usually is interpreted meaning an activity that involves work of some kind. Becoming a good school teacher, becoming a good parent isn't interpreted as part of the American dream. American dream normally means somehow expressing yourself commercially, an opportunity. So, that is sort of what capitalism offers to people: individual opportunity to develop your talents, your hopes, your particular special abilities that you have will be given a chance in this market to express themselves and for you to live more fully as a result of that. That's its basic idea. I think in the United States that became more dominant because the United States is a new country. It was settled, and it was actually taken from people that lived there, of course, but it was treated as sort of an open land and new opportunities. So it became American dream, but it's really the dream of capitalism itself, Now, over the years, though, it changed from being opportunity to almost completely commercial opportunity. Instead of an opportunity to develop your talents, which may show up as becoming a great school teacher and a good parent, and you got the chance to do that, it changed from that to making money. If you made money, you were a success. So it narrowed the definition of what success is to if you were wealthy, you were a success. And if you weren't wealthy, you weren't a success. And from there, it has moved into, it doesn't matter how you make money, as long as you make money. So it moved from personal development to only expressing your development in commercial terms. Then it became more as it doesn't matter how you get money. It's just about making money, having money, and so on. That's sort of where it is today. And when you get into multi-level marketing, that's how it's always sold to you. The guy on the stage has got the fancy watch on. They have a video of him in somewhere going skiing and exotic locations, maybe in Hawaii or in Tahiti or somewhere. And he has he and his family appear so happy, and the children look happy, and he looks fulfilled, and he claims he can just do anything he wants. He has not only money, he has time freedom. So this is presented as this is what's available to you, and this is what you want to be. And if somebody in the audience were to say, I don't really care about going to Tahiti. I'm sort of happy what I'm doing now. I have friends, I have family, I'm doing something. Well, you're a loser, because they tried to get you to think only in these hyper commercial, financial, materialistic terms only. And then they call it the dream, the American dream. This is the dream. And if you don't have that dream, you're nothing. And if you're not achieving that dream, you're a loser. So it becomes a way of defining how to live and what you should live for.
Yeah.
And that's part of the cultism of it. But as you see, these are values that are not just limited to multi-level marketing. I mean, this reshaping of the American dream into this hyper commercial, even predatory, amoral, doesn't matter how you make money. If you made money tricking somebody, harming other people, doesn't matter. If you destroy the environment in order to make money, doesn't matter as long as you make money. That's a prevalent view. Multi-level marketing has been one of the voices pushing that view.
And with the spread of the dream of capitalism, as you called it, and this elbow out society, basically, it also relates to this individualistic way that we live in nowadays. And considering this, how big of a role does social media play in MLM?
Yes, I think I've had this question asked to me a lot of times too. Well, for example, people have asked me, how is it possible multi-level marketing keeps spreading when information about it is so much more available on social media, which is true. There is a Reddit, or Reddit, Reddit, and there is a subgroup, an anti-MLM, with over 700,000 people in it. There are video channels now on YouTube of, quote, anti-MLM. There have been several films and more news stories about it. You would think that more information is available now and enable more people to find the truth about it. But on the other side, we also know that social media has become an environment where disinformation, false information, deliberately false information has flourished and exploded and has misled so many people. So multi-level marketing, which has always been based upon disinformation and reshaping people's thinking, controlling language and using terms that are misleading, social media in a way was the perfect medium for multi-level marketing to use. And so it has enabled, before, if you wanted to scam others and get them in, and they told, you have to build your downline, and you say, well, I've talked to all my friends. I've got people in my family that won't even talk to me anymore. They told me, shut up about that. Stop hammering us about it. I don't know who else to call. And you had, back in the years back, you had people coming up to you in grocery stores saying, oh, I noticed you're buying that. Would you be interested in making some extra money? This was a multi-level marketing. So come on, But now you don't have to go and harass people in a grocery store. You can go online, and you can reach a lot more people. And so we see this phenomenon now of multi-level marketing sort of poisoning Facebook communities and Twitter communities and Instagram and so on. So yeah, I think social media has enabled multi-level marketing to spread.
It just seems way more exciting than some journalists writing articles or people like you writing books and consulting journalists and TV shows. And I think information platforms like we have are becoming more attractive, since I think we also stepping up our game to make it more appealing to people to see the flip side of the whole MLM story. As you know, we're also an informative platform with the goal to educate people about the dangers of MLM. What do you think about our work here at BECM?
Well, I think it's very positive. It is very positive on particularly in this area of multi-level marketing. And as you said, the people like me, the talking heads that show up or get quoted in newspaper articles and so on, it doesn't impress very. It helps some people. Some people pay attention and so on. It gets some information out.
Yeah, it's good to have the expert on your side.
Yeah.
What I also wanted to add is that it's interesting that also with social media, as we talked about before, and this individualistic kind of society that we now live in, people seem to trust the media less with all this fake news out there. And also there's a lot of marketers trying to accuse us of being liars, or as you said, being bitter because we lost, or calling us losers or non-believers, one of my favorites. Do you think that it will change in direction again?
It's possible. I think it's possible. However, the media, the multi-level marketing has made this, taken this tact for many years of discrediting the media, discrediting news. They were talking about fake news long before Donald Trump started talking about it. Long time, our former president was for 10 years an MLM spokesman. So he learned a lot from MLM, particularly about this idea of fake news. And so MLM has always been doing this. It's whenever there was an expose, they attempted to discredit it. So that's true. On the positive side, though, in general, there was so little news media coverage of multi-level marketing, so little that they didn't really have a lot to worry about. They didn't have a lot of exposés to discredit. So on balance, that yes, they will discredit, they will try to call it fake news, and it's true that more people have lost confidence in the media. But because so few media in the past covered it, the newness and the new development in which so many more media are beginning to cover it, I think on balance is positive. I think on balance, the media is going to help more people, even though the media itself is being, as you said, discredited, and will people lose faith in it. And I will say too, a lot of the media coverage of MLM is coming from people of your generation, which is more, for many people, more trustworthy, than the old media. So, and as you said, it's being presented in more appealing ways, in more colorful ways, more dynamic ways. And so that's all helpful as well.
It's an old game dressed fashionably in a new style, basically. So,
yeah.
Well, I asked all my questions, Robert. I thank you so much for talking to me today. And I wanted to ask you as a last question, is there anything else that you would like our viewers to know?
Well, I think just to sum up what I said before, you asked me very early on, why did I write the book Ponzinomics? And the answer, just to reiterate, because if you know what multi-level marketing is, you wouldn't get near it. If you understood it as the way it functions, the financial scheme and the cultism, and that it is operating through really corrupting governments that allow it to operate legally, you wouldn't get near it. And there's been so little in the past defining what it is, explaining what it is. Been a lot of stories about people, oh, somebody made money, somebody lost money, oh, this scam had a product that turned out to be quackery or fake, or was nothing to it and overpriced. But what MLM is, where did it come from? How was it invented? How did it manage not to be outlawed by government and regulators? How does it spread its word? words. How does it gain control over people? What it is. That's really what I hope more people will focus on. And if you know what it is, and I think hopefully there will be more books on just this, and on more films too, on just making not leggings or one company the story, but the phenomenon itself, the whole syndicate of schemes. That's really the story. And I hope there will be more of that. When people know how it works and what it is, where it came from, they won't get near it.
Well, thank you so much. I think that concludes today's interview.
Okay. Well, thank you for your interest, and I enjoyed it too, and hopefully it does some good too.
Alright guys, that concludes today's interview with my guest Robert L. FitzPatrick, who is the author of the book Ponzinomics and False Profits. I'll link them in the description box below for you to check out. I will also link his homepage, pyramidschemealert.org, and as always all our social media accounts, as well as my part 1 video on Ponzinomics. Thank you so much for watching. Please give us a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more MLM content. Bye for now.